Hi, it's Champagne Minx, and I'm going to walk you through using CK12 in my class. So I'll be using CK12 quite a bit for a uh, text resource instead of a textbook. This is what we will use. And you'll also have some review questions from time to time and practice questions to help keep some of the information fresh in your head and make sure that you understand it before you take any quizzes, etc. So, what you're looking at right now is Google Classroom, and I will sometimes give you assignments where you will have links to CK12 chapters. And so it's not going to look exactly the same because I'm in teacher mode, but I will walk you through it anyway. So let's say I'm going to click on what is geology. So at this point, you're going to see the teacher mode. Now, um, the first time you do click on one of my assignments through CK12, it's going to ask you to sign in, and you're going to sign in using Google, and then you're going to select your email with Excel Goodwill. So you'll pick your school email and click OK, and then that will then open the chapter for you. And so this has pulled up my teacher screen instead. But what I can show you from here is that I can click on reports, and right now I don't have anything because you have not yet done this assignment. But if you notice, it's showing kind of what it will look like when I see your assignment. So I'm not exactly going to see the exact questions that you got wrong or right. Now I can click on them and look at that, but what I can see is kind of an overview. And so this isn't actually my class, but let's pretend that's my class. I can look and say, okay, so Mike here, um, it might be having a little bit of difficulty with this section over here. It's in red. Green means he understands it. He got a good grade on it. Yellow and oranges are kind of borderline. Okay, so I will be able to check your practice questions here. So these are for your practice questions. You are going to also have review questions, and those you will be doing either in um, Google Docs, typing in your answers, or you'll be doing it on paper. And so that I'm just going to grade individual basis. It's not going to be online grading like this. So I'm going to go back and go to preview assignment so you can kind of see what your textbook would look like. So here is one of the chapters. What is geology? And so for each chapter, it's going to have some of the same things. And so if you scroll down, um, actually, before I even clicked on that, you will see a different version, and you will be able to scroll down, and it'll have other resources to help you with this. So let's say you read over it and you need additional help, or maybe you want to watch a video, play a game, or just find another resource to help you get this information. That will be on the previous page, okay? And so um, it's called other ways to learn, and so there'll be other resources. You don't have to do them, but it might be helpful. There's also usually a study guide there that you can print off or just look over if you are needing additional help. So anyway, so here's an example chapter, and so usually there's not that much text, so skipping out on reading wouldn't really make sense for most of my reading assignments because they're very short and to the point. As far as taking notes, I would only maybe take down bullet points or the major topics. I would not write all of this down. That wouldn't be useful to you. But if you scroll to the very bottom of the page, almost to the bottom, there's always going to be a summary. And the summary is going to have bullet points that tell you the main ideas. So those are the kind of things you might want to write down. And to really give yourself an opportunity to learn, what I would do is I would try to put those bullet points in my own words. That way I can remember them and I know that I understand. And if I'm still not understanding after I read the chapter, maybe go back through it. Another thing you can do is if it's a highlighted word, you can click on it and it gives a definition. So that's helpful. Another thing you can do, which is really helpful, like when you're looking for the answers, um, Actually, let me show you one strategy before I show you that. So, right underneath the summary, it says review. I will generally give you the review questions for each reading. They're usually only 3 or 4 questions, and they're usually very simple. They're the main points. So, you can probably find the answers in the summary, but if you want to get a better understanding, what I would do is read those review questions, kind of keep them in mind so you know what you're looking for, and then go back up and then read your chapter. And what I would do is I would use this tool, which is the highlighting tool, to highlight the answers. And then what I would do is at the very end, go back and write down my answers. And so not only will it save your highlights so you can use this to study from, but it'll make it a lot easier to do your homework. So let's look at one here. Well, actually, I don't want to give any answers away. That wouldn't be fair. But so let's say I want to highlight paleontologists are interested in fossils. Okay. So let's say I just want to highlight that. So there's a couple ways to do this. One way is you can click a color first, and then you just drag over, whoops, not the whole thing. There you go. Paleontologists are interested in fossils. So now that's there and it's going to save. So the next time I come in and if I want to read this again, that's highlighted. So I know it must be important. You can also take that off, by the way. Another thing you can do, you can just drag over it and pick the color. Another thing you can do is you can hit this add notes button and it basically adds a little sticky note. So let's say I want to say geologists might study rivers and lakes. Let's say I have a question and I want to ask later on. Whoops. Boy, it's just highlighting everything, isn't it? Get out of there. Okay. You know what? I think it's because I'm on the video mode. But all right. Okay, so geologists study rivers. Okay, let's say I want to add a note. Okay, well, do they study do they study oceans? That might be a question I have that I want to ask the teacher or ask someone or look it up. All right, so I can save that in there. And now, um, well, in this mode I can't see, but normally you would see a little note there. So, do they study oceans? All right. Let's see, what else can you do here? Let's see. I think I've already talked about that. The only other thing I would like to talk about is after you do the review questions, generally, well, sometimes there's going to be a video. Watch the videos. They may help you understand the concept. It might just be an enrichment. Usually they're only a couple minutes long. Sometimes you have questions after the video, so you'll definitely want to watch the video then. Okay, so let me move this over here. So after you do your review questions and you take any notes if you need to take notes, again, it's not a have to, you don't have to do it, but it could be helpful to you depending on how you learn. You're going to want to do the view practice after that. So the view practice are your practice questions. They're online. This is also for a grade. So you'll be doing your review questions here. And generally, I will either type these up for you and give them to you on a paper or in a PDF so you can type your answers or write your answers down. Or sometimes I might say, just go ahead and get a piece of paper out or you can type the questions yourself, but generally I try to type them out for you. So when you're done with those, you're going to do the view practice questions. And so here it says it's about 5 minutes estimated time to complete. That really depends on how fast you are. Did you really pay attention? Do you understand this? Well, it might only take you a minute or two. And they are just multiple choice questions. Okay, so I've done this before, so it's going to say restart. Let's see. And actually, I don't think I can see it from this mode, which is just fine. But generally, what you're going to do is you click on that and a multiple choice question is going to come up. You have to get 10 done in a row. I believe you have to have like an 80% on it, but you might be able to complete it without getting that 80%. It'll just show up as yellow, orange, or red on my side, showing that maybe you haven't quite mastered it yet. So if it were me, I would probably just take the extra minute or whatever to fix my answers and try it again. It would be worth it as far as getting a better grade. And then when you're done with all of this, you're going to have a button that says turn in. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you that because I'm in teacher mode, but basically, you're going to hit a button. It says turn in. Once you do that, it lets me know, okay, they're done with your review questions. They're done with the practice problems. All right. And that is pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed. Pretty much, it's really easy to kind of understand. If you understand how a textbook works and you understand how CK12 works, it's pretty much just an online textbook. They use bold headings, um, bullet points, and it's very concise and to the point. So I think it'll be a very good resource for you. But if you do have any questions, of course, give me a holler. All right.